black shirts with black animals.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you, baby.
Stand by, please. Electric sound, wardrobe, wig, stage management, stage crew, flies, and all technical departments.
Welcome to Leave the Ghost Light On. So anyway, welcome to the bonus episode.
Welcome to the bonus episode of Leave the Ghost Light On, where we're just here to talk about our trip and review all the stuff that we did at the Fringe Festival.
Yay! Well, I'm
Danny-
gonna start off actually talking about some of my time in Prague because I saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 shows.
Oh my gosh. How long were you in Prague? 3 weeks.
I was there for 4 weeks. But yeah. Yeah,
nice.
15 shows in 4 weeks.
Wow, good job. You know how we're always talking about how we're bad theater people?
Right.
We made up for it
Not
in
no
the
more.
last month. So
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, tell us about some of them.
So the first weekend that I was there, I was actually there earlier than a lot of my students, but are you stuck? There you go. But that first weekend I saw Lisa Volpe, who is a very, very well-known Shakespearean actor. She's played so many roles. And she did like a one-woman show that was talking about like gender in Shakespeare, and because she's played a ton of men's characters too, and she's so fucking good.
Nice.
Oh my god. And then I saw Romeo and Juliet, What's in a Name, which was a production that was a bilingual version of Romeo and Juliet that was in, I believe it was in Farsi and English.
Interesting.
Yeah, oh my god, it was so good. And the actors were so good. They were so cute. They were definitely younger. Like early 20s, like maybe college. But they were so good. And then I saw the Prague Shakespeare production of Hamlet, which was directed by Guy Roberts. It's got, their huge ensemble of actors, and it's now come to be known as We Are Hamlet, because it's a very different take.
I remember you telling me about this. Yeah.
They do just like one of the coolest things.
Everybody like changes parts or something, right?
Yeah. So there is, Jessica, who is Jessica Boone, is one of their main actors. She is one of 2 people who does not change roles. She plays Hamlet. Well, I guess she also plays an ensemble. So yeah, she'll go back into ensemble, but she's Hamlet for a good chunk of, especially the first part of it. And then Guy, who was the director of it, plays Claudius, the dad, the one that usurped the throne.
I feel kind of bad because I've only seen Hamlet once. I painted it for Utah Shakespeare Festival.
Oh, okay.
But it was when we were doing our like 4 a.m. calls. And so all of the painters went and saw like whatever like the 4 o'clock showing of it was, which is why we were doing 4 a.m. calls. We sat in the very back row, and like I was starting to fall asleep. One of my coworkers was listening to like the Women's World Cup final on her phone. And I was like, guys, wake me up when the men start fighting. Just fell asleep. That's no dig at Utah Shakes or Hamlet, but that's just that's my only
memory. Working till 4 a.m. No.
Yeah. Yep, that's my memory of Hamlet, because I think that was the only time that we could go see it. So it was like during all the talking and everything, it was just like
and like, I mean, I will say I've seen my share of Hamlets. This was exceptional. I actually saw it 2 nights in a row because it was that good. The next day I also saw Two Noble Kinsmen, which is not a Shakespeare play that gets done like ever. I had never seen a production of it. So that one, and the next 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 that I saw were all productions that were from the Prague Shakespeare Intensive that was being put on by Prague Shakespeare, which is college students from pretty much around the world will come and do an intensive where they perform, and some of them do stage combat training.
And that's kind of what you were involved in, right?
So we really literally just went to see their shows. But what was great is that my friends Samantha and Leraldo, who are a married couple who happen to be the intimacy and fight directors for Prague Shakespeare, just happened to be there working with them doing those things. So we actually had them come in and do guest lectures for us, which was super, super cool. But yeah, I also saw Measure for Measure, Titus Andronicus, Twelfth Night, Macbeth, Merry Wives of Windsor, Troilus and Cressida, All's Well That Ends Well, Taming of the Shrew, Merchant of Venice, and another version of Hamlet.
Oh my gosh. So you are all Shakespeare'd out.
But what's fascinating that I don't know why, but there was not a single history play that they did this year. So no Richard or no Henrys, no. Yeah. So interesting choice. But I was like, I mean, it's cool because I've literally never gotten to see a production of Two Noble Kinsmen. I've never seen Merry Wives of Windsor. There are a lot of these that I was like, I've never seen a production of this. So it's very, very cool. Yeah.
Nice. Well, that sounds fun.
And some of them were, obviously much better than others. But I also, my friends, Jim Johnson and Carolyn Johnson are actors for them that I know from Houston. And so Jim, oh my God, Jim was so good. Jim was in Merry Wives of Windsor and was just absolutely hysterical as Falstaff, of course.
I've painted Merry Wives of Windsor, but I've never seen it though. Oh my gosh, what was the last show that you saw in Prague?
A different version of Hamlet.
Different version of Hamlet. Nice. So,
which you saw that good, but not as good as the original one. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so you saw that, and then the next day you saw me in Germany. Yay! Where we didn't do anything theater related.
That's true. Yeah, I think we determined that if we had to go back to Germany, it would not be Berlin.
No, I don't think so. I mean, we chose to not do anything like historical just for this specific trip. That's just wasn't really the purpose of it.
And I had done so much of it in Prague that I was like, I don't know if I can handle it right now.
Yeah, and honestly, it was kind of nice just like chilling out and just, spending time with each other and just kind of like, for me, getting my basis of time zones and all that kind of stuff.
Oh my God, yeah.
So, but yeah, we just kind of ate a lot of food in Germany mostly. So,
and didn't get served.
I know, what was up with that?
Italian place.
Yeah,
the Italian place we went to, which was excellent. That guy, he must have been the owner or something, but he was so sweet.
I wish I could remember the name of it. I mean, we were in the Alexanderplatz area. But it's like everything in there was like that whole, like, I don't know, like 8 blocks. And I feel like we ate like everything within those 8 blocks. And everywhere except for the sushi place and that place, the service was crap. So, food was delicious.
Place was also good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the food was absolutely delicious, but it just took for freaking ever. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Germany was weird. So, yummy coffee, but otherwise kind of weird. So,
but we did do a really nice photo shoot in that really cool cemetery turned park, which was wild.
Right. I forgot about that. That place was weird. We were
so ghost light of us. Speaking of ghost lights.
Yes. Oh yeah.
We forgot to talk about this on the real episode, but Jill and I got 2 matching tattoos in Edinburgh.
But yeah, we got 2 matching tattoos, the ghost light, which we chose a ghost light tattoo long before we came up with the podcast. So, because we were trying to think of like a matching theater tattoo that we could get. And it was like, well, ghost light. And then we were thinking about the podcast. That's why it was like, Ghostlight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he did a really good job. So, and then the other one is, so we got the Scottish thistle.
Mhm. The national
And
flower of Scotland.
with
Hi.
the words. Oh no. Oh my gosh. But anyway, yeah, so the other tattoo, the other matching one is the thistle with the words "Into the Woods," which, Danica, do you wanna finally tell everybody what that's from so we can start doing
So
it to each other?
okay, so I think it started because of that production in Memphis.
It did. At Playhouse
So
on the Square. Yeah, it
yeah.
was like high school kids, and this was the summer that those weird people that we lived with and dated, I guess? No, kidding. Yes, we dated them. When they went off to summer stock, and so we had, like, kind of hung out a little bit, but, like, this is what, like, solidified it. Is yeah, it was like the, whatever couple of week-long thing, and then they had, like, their show that they
Yeah.
had to put on, and so I came and saw it.
I was
And
like, I'm so sorry.
so like I said, I might not explain it the best, but the way that I remember it is,
Yes.
I mean, it's just like a bunch of kids, like not in costumes, just in like normal clothing, doing like random snippets of stuff.
Mhm.
But I think for your students, they finished singing Into the Woods,
Yeah.
right? It was something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And they did such a good job that we've been singing it to each other for 10 years.
It
No, it
actually
was
it could have been a lot worse, but it was like it was cute.
Yeah,
They
bless
were
their
having
hearts.
fun.
Bless their hearts. They did a very good job, but no, it
Yeah.
was, instead of a beautiful "Into the Woods," it was more of like a, I'm gonna try and do this without
Everyone's
yeah, I was like, "Into the Woods!" It's like I'm trying to do that to where it doesn't pop my microphone. "Into the Woods!" Just shrill, and so, for some reason, me and Danica, like, hung on to that, and so whenever we talk on the phone or see each other, we'll randomly scream that at each other sometimes.
It's our version
So
of Marco Polo too, so, like, if we lose each other in a crowd.
Oh, man. So, yeah, shout out to those high schoolers who are much older now.
Oh, I don't even wanna think about that. "Oh,
I
look,
know,
there's
right?
the baby.
Hi. Oh, there's
There,
that underbite.
that
There we go.
baby. Look at this beautiful girl."
Yeah, so
But
yeah,
yes,
so
so
we
I got a tattoo in Prague,
Mhm,
that is the Prague skyline, and it's eventually going to be a garter, that
mhm,
goes all the way around with black in the style that's like this really cool abstracted, lacy kind of cool shit that
mhm.
does. And underneath it is a quote from Shakespeare's Tempest that says, "What's past is prologue," but is in Czech. So it
Nice.
says, "Vše minulé pouze prologem jest."
Nice. Good job.
Yeah. I'm sorry,
Nice.
Jakob, if and everyone else, if I butchered that pronunciation, but
No, it
I'm
sounded
learning. I'm trying.
so, yeah, so we met in Germany on, what was that? That was like a Friday, I think it
Saturday.
was? Saturday, that's right,
Mhm.
Saturday, I don't even remember,
It
July
was the
20 something.
27th.
27th, yeah, so July 27th, and we were only there for 3 or 4 days and just kind
Mhm.
of walked around, ate food, took naps,
Yeah.
was leisurely, so
Mhm.
at least the weather was pretty decent, so
Mhm.
but then we got to go and do
We also
the
got
more
really blasted that one night.
oh my gosh, we're having such a great time. We wanted to
we
go to
we had way
karaoke.
too much fun because I actually bought a bottle of gin in Prague that I wanted to make sure that I could share with Jill because I had taken the train from Prague to Berlin, so I could
Mhm,
bring this well, it was a giant bottle of gin, and I had a bottle of blackcurrant wine that I needed to share.
mhm.
So that night was just the gin though,
Yeah,
but
that was just
we
gin.
demolished it. And one of the biggest things I remember from that night is it's the two of us, and we're in a hostel, and we're sharing this one room with these, these two poor guys from uh
Brazil.
no, Argentina.
Argentina, that's right.
Argentina. Hi, baby. This makes it really easy. Thank you. Um, and fortunately, they weren't there that night when we were
Mm-mm.
getting completely plastered.
Yeah.
But we ended up just like the window is wide open and we're just like singing Lady Marmalade at the top of
That's
our lungs.
right.
Just in our fucking pajamas, like 2 a.m, just like shrieking.
We did a good job. You know what? We had
had
fun.
a whole lot of fun though.
Yeah, no, it was a good amount of fun. So, anyway, so then we went to Edinburgh, which is where we really, really, really wanted to be and wanted to spend as much time as possible. So,
Yeah.
I at least got, what was it, 6 full days there. So,
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, and the first day, we immediately rented a car and like
Mhm.
drove and did a distillery tour and all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. So, which was super
Yeah,
yummy.
so
What was the
Jill, just to make sure everybody's aware of just how fucking cool you are, Jill rented us a manual right-hand drive stick shift. It wasn't a Mini,
Fiat
it was a
500?
Fiat, yeah.
Mhm.
That little car was so damn cute.
Love that
Um,
car.
and and like so you had driven before and what were the places that you were like, "Oh, I know how to do right-hand drive and blah blah blah,"
Um,
'cause
I mean, I've driven in Ireland and I've driven in Australia. So, and
yeah.
then I've also driven in the Virgin Islands, which is a
Mm,
left-hand drive car on the right-hand side of the road. So,
weird. Weird.
absolutely backwards. Yeah,
Yeah.
made no sense.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I've actually done it quite a few times, so it feels pretty natural, but doing it with
Yeah.
a stick shift is always fun. So,
Yeah, it was just really, really lucky for me that you were driving because I was so confused by the just being on the wrong side of the road to me. I was like, "Oh, fuck." The
mhm.
roundabouts
Oh,
were
yeah,
the
lots
most terrifying thing for me. I was
all
like,
the
"How do you
roundabout.
what?"
Yeah, I'll put that in my list of, special skills,
Yes,
so
please.
I can drive anywhere in the world so
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
comfortably.
Yeah. So that was
Yeah.
amazing because we drove up to the Highlands, we drove into Glencoe and to Three
Mhm.
Sisters to do our incredible photo shoot,
Oh, yeah, I
which,
still haven't posted those photos. Yep.
oh
I'm
my
looking forward
god,
to that.
yeah, we're so beautiful. Like, I just gotta say, like, those pictures, we are
We're
awesome.
pretty.
We're pretty. We
No,
look
that was
incredible.
no, that
Yeah.
was so much fun. So and
The
just
the
like
hike to and from going through basically a bog.
mhm. Yep.
Fucking this one over here was like, "Hey, let's walk over here," and I was like, "We can do that," and then the grass gets up to about chest height
Mhm.
on 2 women who are, like, 5'7". We're just like, "This is fine."
And then our feet start, like, sinking into the mud, and it's like, "It's fine, we just
This
need to
is
get to the rocks." It was worth
fucking
it.
45 minutes later, but yes, it was. Nearly rolled my ankle, like, 16 times because like, every
Mhm.
time you take a step, you're basically stepping on this weird, like the tops of the
It's lit Yeah, I was gonna say it's, like, literally a
bushiness.
bog, yeah.
It
Mhm. The bog
was
swamp.
rough. It
So
was rough, but it was really worth it.
mhm. Yeah. No, it was
I was
worth
like,
it. It was
"There you
also
go.
just
I got my hike in." So there.
mhm. It was also just so pretty.
Yeah.
So
And
mhm.
yeah, it was absolutely un-Scottish weather that day, which was wild. We're like, "It's gonna be overcast and, like, probably raining and blah, blah. It's gonna be really cool." It was, like, 30 degrees. Look at me doing Celsius.
I know, good job.
It was, like, 30 degrees. It was bright and sunny, not a
Super
cloud in the
bright.
sky, and we're like,
Mhm.
"Ow, it's, like, too bright to, like, take pictures."
Yeah.
It was
No, it
so
was
weird.
yeah, it was absolutely yeah, not like Scotland at all. But I mean,
Yeah.
eventually it went into overcast and we were able to, like, get some
It
good
was lovely
pictures.
though, yeah. Mhm.
So and also just in
And then the
general,
times when I get to stand over you so I can be your
oh,
you could
yeah,
be in the
shield me from the sun so we can actually see when we're taking pictures. Oh my
right. It was really fun
god.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and just driving through the Highlands was just gorgeous. Just getting out
Mhm.
of the city and everything and driving to, like I mean, I did a bunch of Outlander stuff, so I wanted to
Yeah.
see all the Outlander things,
Mhm.
and then we saw a
So pretty.
5,000-year-old tree, so
Yeah, the
the
yew
yew
tree in the
tree.
cemetery,
Mhm.
which is so just
Mhm.
ridiculously humbling and super existential and just one of the coolest experiences.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's the whole path that leads up to it through the cemetery where you get to, you know, all the writing on the carving into the stones and stuff of being like, just imagine the people that have come here before you in the thousands of years before you were here, and you are part of this now. It's so humbling and it's so beautiful, and I'm so glad we made that stop.
Yay. Yeah, I that was something I wanted to do. I think I saw it on Men in Kilts or something like that. I can't remember where, but I've seen the 5,000-year-old trees in Great Basin National Park in Nevada. It's some of the oldest trees in the world. So I was like, well, yeah, I mean, those trees I think are a little bit closer to 6,000 years old. And it's like, we'll go see a 5,000-year-old tree. Like, yeah, just thinking about the history of it is just crazy. And so
it's so cool.
Yeah. But then we made our way to Edinburgh, where we stayed and we did what we came to do, which was the Fringe Festival.
Dude, the Airbnb we stayed at on West Bow Street was so fucking awesome.
Yeah, like, it was essentially it was right on Victoria Street, which is the famous street in Edinburgh that's got all like the multicolored buildings and everything. You've definitely seen it in pictures and everything, but yeah, that Airbnb was fantastic.
I don't know how we managed to snag that, but it was
I don't either. And so I think it was just the right timing and right time to look and price-wise and all that kind of stuff. But if we ever go back, I want to stay there again. So.
Yes, please, and thank you.
Yeah,
I will say I unfortunately got sick. Basically when we arrived to Scotland. And so like for the majority of the time I was popping Sudafed and zinc like it was fucking candy. I was miserable but so happy. Like it's a weird sensation of like hacking up a lung every goddamn morning. Like
I felt so bad like dragging you around, but I'm glad that we did.
You just put her head on my shoulder. Oh, honey. I love you too, baby.
That's a baby.
She's a sweet girl.
Yeah. But yeah, here really quick. Can you give us a little rundown of what the Fringe Festival is?
So Edinburgh Fringe is the biggest amalgamation of theater performances in the world that all happen within the confines of the city of Edinburgh. And it takes place over a month. And some venues will have up to 7 or 8 performances a day. Like we were mentioning in our last episode, the Bedlam Theater actually does up to 8 shows per day in their space. There are just dozens and dozens and dozens of spaces around the city that are dedicated to the Fringe happening. It is everything from improv, comedy, stand-up acts, music, theater, musical theater.
Yeah, just a whole nice big variety. Yeah, like I think when we before we went, we kind of looked because I wanted to see if we could kind of pre-plan what we wanted to see, and on the Fringe Festival website, it is over 700 pages.
Oh yeah,
so it's just thousands upon thousands of shows.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and so we're gonna tell you guys about the shows that we saw and do some reviews of them.
Yay!
Yay.
Well, let's do chronologically because I think that makes sense. And I will because I know so Jill was actually left a few days before me, so I did get to see some shows after you left, which were some of them were just brilliant. So I do want to mention those briefly. So but let's start with what we saw.
Yeah. So so the first one that we saw was Sarah Hester Ross.
Woo!
What a great way to start it out.
God,
so
man.
I knew Sarah Hester Ross from just seeing her stuff on like I don't have TikTok, but seeing her stuff on like Instagram Reels and everything. But basically, what is she? I guess she's a
musical comedian.
Yeah, musical comedian. So the song that I know her from is the I Don't Want to Have Babies song. Which I'm sure that we will post all of that, but she just was an incredible singer.
She was one of the best voices I have heard live. And that is coming from someone who is in professional musical theater. She was unfucking believable.
Yeah.
And she's also hysterical, just
Yes,
hysterical.
she
So,
does very good. She does very good, like, not only the stuff that she's singing is funny, but also, like, very good, like, physical comedy
oh
as
yeah,
well.
oh yeah, oh
Mhm.
my god. And we
Yeah.
actually got the chance to talk to her after the show, and she was like,
Mhm.
"Why? Why did I do that to myself? I am not athletic." And she's, like, parading around the stage in these, like, 6-inch heels and, like,
Mhm.
doing high kicks and splits and stuff, and she's like, "Why did I do that? Everything hurts."
Mhm. No, but she did such a good job. I was trying to think,
She's
like, yeah,
excellent.
you can go and watch her stuff on YouTube. I think she's gonna be there for the entire run
Yeah.
of the Fringe. Where was she again?
She was
Oh, wait, I have it. Just the Tonic venue.
oh, yes, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
But
and there are,
yeah,
like, 6 different ones of Just the Tonic, so you gotta find the right one.
yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to think, like, her big songs were the No Babies,
And the
Vibrators Are a
ones that
Girl's Best Friend.
oh my god, that was hysterical, and
Mhm.
the one that we both have T-shirts on from.
I know, and you can't show off your shirt 'cause
I
the
can't show
dog's
mine off, but I
blocking it,
swear I'm
but
wearing it. Stop giving men microphones.
it's her
Which,
ending song.
we couldn't agree more.
Mhm. Yeah.
So she even provides, like, video evidence of how garbage monstery some men are when it comes to discussing women.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah,
absolute
it's mostly
terror.
men who have podcasts where it's just them sitting in a basement talking about how horrible women
Mhm,
are. So,
mhm, mhm.
yeah.
Fabulous.
But yeah. Yep. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, her show was, like, the perfect, like, kickoff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
And then
then let's
right
see.
after that, we saw was that Boozical after that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right after that, we saw The Boozicle. I don't remember what it's technically called, but that's just the only thing I can remember it as.
That's what sticks, yeah. So
So,
it's,
which
it's a musical in which you as the audience, every single person in the audience is provided 5 free drinks. And when we
Mhm.
say drinks, we mean there was a full can of IPA, a
Yep.
full, like, huge can of cider, and
Yeah.
then,
A
vodka,
shot worth Yeah, a shot worth of vodka,
whiskey,
whiskey, and
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 mezcal.
mezcal. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking
And
awesome.
it's No, it's yeah, essentially, they've definitely been at the Fringe before, but it was, like, the
Oh,
2
yeah.
guys were basically going through and, like, almost doing, like, reviews of the
Mhm.
alcohol and
Yeah,
everything, and then they
like, the
kind of
history
had
of them.
yeah, they
Yeah.
had, like, the girl singers in the background, you know, singing about it and singing what they were doing, but in the end, it was essentially like a booze review kind of
Yeah,
a
yeah,
thing.
it really was, and it was very
So
funny, very clever, yeah,
mhm.
and very
Yeah.
unique. Great
Yeah.
time.
No, I liked that one. So, because
Yeah.
basically almost all of the shows we kind of decided that day what we were
Oh,
going to
yeah,
see.
yeah.
So, and then the one that we saw after that was essentially like the backup singers.
Yeah, it was those
So
same 3 female singers, performers from Boozical that we got a flyer right after that show that was like, "Hey, those 3 girls have another show coming up really soon if you wanna go
mhm.
see it." We're like, "Hell yes." They
Yeah.
were oh my god, oh my
Yeah,
god.
they were all very good singers too. So,
And rose tinted, yeah, so they were hysterical and
mhm.
lovely and wonderful.
Yeah, I was
Um,
trying to think of what songs that they did because I remember they obviously did the one where it was like a bachelorette party,
yeah.
um, and they were
Did they
going
do
out
one
drunk.
about, I feel bad for the girl in the jumpsuit?
I know.
Like,
It's
about
like,
a
"You look
drunk girl
great,
that they're watching at
but"
the bar trying
Mhm,
to it's just like, "Well, now she's gotta go to the bathroom.
mhm.
We'll see her in an
Yeah,
hour."
yeah. Yep,
Yeah,
that whole
no, they
show
were
was
really
very,
funny.
very good. Mhm.
Mhm.
So, it was like girl
Um,
problems, and
yeah,
then yeah.
yeah. It was really, really funny.
So that was day 1. So day 1,
Mhm.
we saw 4 shows. So
4.
we saw what
Mhm.
was it? Sarah Hester Ross, the Boozical Rose Tinted, and then that one show that we're not gonna mention about, but has
Yep.
the word party boys in it. Um, I'll say it, I don't care. Um, so day 2 was so good though.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So day 2 we got to go see, I think this was like the first one of the day, but we went and saw somebody with a similar name to ours, and it was Ghostlight.
Yes! Ah!
Mhm. It was called Ghostlight Between Fall and Flight, which is a teeterboard, performance, which is crazy because I was like, "How are these people gonna teeterboard for a straight hour?" That is an insane, like, athletic feat
Mhm,
in and of itself, but
mhm.
essentially, like, I mean, not only were these guys super good at what they did, but also, like, the storytelling
They were
was
doing clowning.
fantastic.
It was
Mhm.
it was not only incredible
What
athleticism with the teeterboard,
Mhm.
but then they constructed, like you said, like an entire story around
Mhm.
these 2 characters
Yeah.
using the teeterboard and
Mhm.
how they interact with each other, and just the beautiful, beautiful comedy of how they work together, how they played
Mhm.
together, and then they built this gorgeous, like, existential story.
Yeah.
It was heartbreaking and so
Mhm.
beautiful and so perfectly executed in
Yeah.
terms of just like how their physicality, 'cause again, there's no
Mhm.
dialogue.
Mm-mm.
It was
I mean, there was a
all
lot of yelling,
dance.
but yeah.
Well, but yeah, but
Ah!
not of, like,
Ah!
words. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of
Yeah,
just saying each other's names, but yeah.
yeah,
And
but
so
god, it was stunning.
Mhm. Yeah.
Absolutely stunning. They're a Quebecois company, um, from Montreal, and what was the name of the company itself? It
I don't know,
was
what the heck did you just
oh, it
say?
was
A Quebecois?
Quebecois, yeah. They're
What is
from
that?
they're from Quebec.
Oh, is that what it's called?
How do you not know
Quebecois?
this word? Quebecois,
No.
yeah.
No, so they are machine de cirque.
Yes, machine to silk.
Mhm. Yeah, machine de cirque in,
They
Quebec
oh
City.
my god,
Mhm. But yeah,
so beautiful.
it was
And it
super
was really cool because we
yeah,
got a
shout out
picture
to
with
them.
the poster, and then
Mhm.
we tagged them, and we've been, like, tagging each other back and forth and stuff, so shout out to them. They were so brilliant and so beautiful, and we got to have a drink with them the next day, and they were just
Say their
really,
names.
really lovely guys. Oh my god. Oh
Say
my
their
god.
names.
Oh, Guillaume and, Maxime.
Maxime, yeah, Guillaume and
Yeah,
Maxime. So,
yeah.
yeah, they
They're so
were
wonderful. You guys are great,
yeah,
you
you
were
guys are
just
wonderful,
yeah.
hi.
"Hi, Ghost Light
But yeah,
buddies." So, yeah,
mhm,
"Ghost Light buddies," and we
yep,
showed them our tattoos, and we're like, "So now you guys should get them."
mhm, yeah. Their tricks were fantastic, and one thing that I liked is that their teeter board was on a rotation,
That
and
was
so a lot of the times they would, like, balance on it to where it would be spinning with,
yeah,
like, both of them on it and
on
stuff
it.
like that,
Just
so
j oh my god, yeah.
mhm, yeah,
Oh, yeah, brilliant.
no, fantastic. Great job, guys. You guys
Yeah,
are awesome.
yeah.
So, but yeah, and
So, and
then
then right after that was
it was
Yoa?
Yoa.
Yeah,
Yoa? So,
we
another
may be
circus show. Yeah, we
mispronouncing
went
that.
we did back-to-back circus shows in the same tent and everything.
Mhm,
So, yeah, Yoa, Yoah,
mhm,
was kind of, like, classic circusy, like, a lot of their
mhm,
tricks I have seen
mhm,
in Cirque, but they essentially had the Diablo, which is
mhm.
the spinny thing
The,
with the
like,
ropes
spinny
and
guys,
everything where they
yeah.
throw it around and all that, and had lights
That was
attached to it.
awesome, and it was
Yes.
so I have never seen a Diablo performance that long and with
Oh,
that
yeah.
many of them at once, like, that was
Mhm.
really cool, and they also did have a bit of a storyline to it where it was,
Mhm.
the young girl who actually started out on the aerial rope, on
Mhm.
silks,
The silks,
and,
yeah.
and then, like, it was basically you're following her through this
Mhm.
story of, like, watching all this stuff happen around her, which was cool,
Yeah. I
um
think that's my only critique is that I would have liked to have seen her do silks and then, do the lyra a little bit more. Like, she was
mm.
only on the silks for, I don't know, maybe 2
Yeah, it was
minutes
like
or something
2
like that.
minutes. Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah, and then
she was
same yeah.
excellent, but
Yeah, and then same with the lyra, it's like she was only on there for 2 minutes, but then they were spinning
yeah.
Diablos for 20
20?
or 30 minutes.
Yeah. Which granted, they were incredible, like,
Yeah.
they really were fantastic, but
Diablos aren't my thing, but yeah, it was fine. So
yeah, it was still great, but
mhm, yeah. I've
yeah,
seen Diablos in a lot of AGT and everything,
mhm.
America's Got Talent, so that's the only reason why I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, it's a Diablo," and then it was like, okay, it's still Diablo. Like, I get it. So, but then the guy who did the trapeze, he was very good.
Ooh,
So,
yeah, that was cool.
mhm.
Yeah.
So, that
Yeah,
was a
that
little
what
bit
freaked me out about that was how close he was getting to all the trusses as he was swinging.
mhm.
Oh, oh
Yeah.
my god. Ah! Yeah,
The the
that was terrifying for me.
the trapeze one was kind of fun for me to watch because he literally did the same act that our trapeze artist
Mhm.
does it. Oh.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, like the same
Yeah.
exact thing. So,
Mhm.
but it was still very good though.
Oh, great,
See, like
yeah.
that was one where it was a good show. It wasn't necessarily my
Mhm.
jam, but it was good. So,
Yeah,
I'm glad we
and
went
then
and saw it.
what was after that? After that
So,
was
then we finished the night with Silence the Musical.
that might still be my favorite thing that we saw, like,
Mhm. That one was
oh my god.
too funny. So it
Silence of the
was
Lambs, the musical.
mhm.
Holy shit. Not only were the performers exceptional, a
Yeah.
like, mind-blowingly exceptional, holy shit, it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Mhm.
Absolutely just, like, doubled over laughing most
Yeah.
of the time, and I know that film backwards and forwards, and I was like, "This could go one of 2 ways."
Mhm.
This could either be the funniest thing I've ever seen, or it could be really painful.
Yeah. No, it was
And fortunately,
fantastic.
it was the former,
Yeah.
and my god, they killed it.
Yeah.
And I
No,
actually
that
found
was
out later, it was written by Hunter Bell, who's, one of the guys that wrote Title of Show that I directed last year.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
just the music is so well written
Mhm.
and beautiful and lovely, while at the same time being really horrific.
Yeah. Oh, yes. So, I also just like it that the whole entire storyline is, moved along with sheep, with
Lambs!
lambs. So, like, essentially the
The
whole entire chorus
ensemble
is in yeah, they're in lamb costumes. So
loops.
mhm, yeah.
Just thinking
Yes,
about it.
it was yeah, it was very good. That's one of those shows that I guess has been around for a minute. Because when I looked it up, it's like they tour and everything, like, they've done
Oh,
off
yeah.
Broadway. Mhm.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
exceptional.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
No,
god.
they were very good.
10
So,
out of
but
10.
yes, so that was day 2, and then day
Mhm.
3, which was my last day.
Mhm.
So, the first show that we saw was what was it? Buckets of Blood?
Buckets of Blood, yeah, which was,
Mhm. That one was surprising.
Fairy Tales Not for Children.
Mhm.
It was a one-man show basically telling you the, like, German or whatever
Mhm.
roots of fairy tales, but, like, their original versions of the shows or, different cultures' iterations of those fairy tales, which was
Yeah.
fascinating, and he
Yeah.
also was a beautiful really, really beautiful performer.
Yes, he was
Yeah,
very good.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I liked him a lot. That was one of
Mhm.
those where we walked into it and we were like, "I don't know what's happening and what
Yeah,
this is," and then as
mhm.
soon as he started, it was like, "Oh, yeah.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
great, though. We're
Yeah,
gonna like
yeah,
this." But yeah,
very cool.
he told, like, 3 or 4 stories.
Oh,
So and
yeah.
just in general, he was just a fantastic, like, storyteller, and it was just kinda like a
Yes.
nice, like it was like a nice, easy hour-long thing.
Yeah.
So
No, it was
mhm,
excellent. It was
yeah,
really cool.
yeah.
Um,
And
and then
then next was
what's
The
making me happy?
Dreamer.
Oh, next okay.
So, The Dreamer was, the one magic show that we went and saw,
Mhm.
and my critique of it is, The Mediocre Hypnotist.
Which is, patent pending our new band name,
It's band name.
um,
Mhm.
is The Mediocre Hypnotist, yes.
Yeah,
Um,
no offense to him.
it was he's
I
a
feel
great
bad.
performer.
Yes,
He's
he did a
very charismatic. He really knows what he's doing. He does excellent
mhm.
crowd work.
Yes,
Um,
he did a very good job. It's just for me, knowing what I'm not gonna spoil any of this because, I mean, I don't know if anybody's actually listening to this and going to see it, but just in case, like,
mhm,
I know what plants look like, and
Mhm.
I know
And
what
how they
props
function.
look like and all that kinda stuff. So,
Yeah.
for me, it was a little bit too easy to pick out that kind of stuff, and I
Mhm.
would have rather have seen magic tricks as opposed
Yeah.
to just
I
hypnotizing
would have
people.
rather I would
Mhm.
have rather seen an illusionist, which
Yes.
yeah, mhm.
Yeah. But
No,
no,
but
he essentially just yeah, he essentially just hypnotized people, which, were all plants.
yeah. Whoops. I
Mhm.
mean, again, really good performer, very
Yes.
charismatic,
Mhm.
um, good at that section of so yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. But yeah, that was
Yeah.
my critique. It was I called it the mediocre hypnotist.
Mhm. Very valid, valid.
Mhm.
Um,
So
but then, the last show we saw was,
mhm.
Trygve Walkinshaw, who, I actually met in Prague, because he lives in Prague. He is originally from New Zealand, but he lives in Prague, and he is a physical comedian, and he is a mime and has done just extensive work in those fields and as
Mhm.
an actor and performer. Um, and while we were there, he just happened to be using the NC State center facilities to work on his show that he was bringing
Mhm.
to Fringe. So fortunately, my coordinator Kim Strosby in Prague was like, "Hey, I think you should meet this guy and see if he'll like perform some of his stuff for your class." My class was super interested, and we saw about 10 minutes of his work, and
Mhm.
just he's so good. But
Yeah, it was
what we
essentially like a
saw in
comedic
class
mime.
yeah, yeah, but what we
Mhm.
saw in class was, a really small snippet of what his show ended up being, and I did not expect it to go where it went. Like, I didn't expect it to
Mm.
go it was, like, roller coastery, like, emotional stuff, but
Yeah.
also really funny, but really touching, and, oh my god, he's talented. So,
Yeah, he was
Trygve,
very
thank
funny.
you for showing our class that small snippet of stuff. I'm so glad that we got to go see your show. It was
Mhm.
stunning. Highly, highly
Yeah.
recommend. The name of his show is Silly Little Things.
Yeah.
So and it was yeah, he's lovely.
No, that was very good. I'm just impressed that somebody could mime for a full hour. So
And it was
mhm.
so like his miming is so precise. He was telling our class about some of his training and all the stuff that he's done in France and that kind of thing. But it
Mhm.
really shows. I mean, everything he did was so beautifully articulated and so beautifully detailed in the way that he moves and the way that he manipulates space and oh yeah, beautiful
Mhm.
storyteller. Yeah, excellent work. Mhm.
Yeah. For me, that was not a bad show to end on, because
Mhm.
essentially we saw that show, went back to the Airbnb, started packing, and then I had to leave early that next day.
Yeah,
So, I
yeah,
definitely could have spent another week, another month there for
yeah,
sure. So, there was so
yeah,
much to see, so much to do. Oh,
yeah.
I'm so sad.
Unfortunately
I
for
wanna go
me,
back.
I was there for the next few days after that.
Mhm.
So just briefly, I will talk just a little bit about the other shows that I saw.
Mhm.
So on Monday, I saw Italians in America, which was actually no, not America, Italians in England, Italians in Britain, Italians in the UK. I don't know. But it was a Commedia dell'arte show, and
Mhm.
Commedia is one of my favorite things. I've studied a lot of it. I've performed it a little bit, and I've directed it, and I love Commedia. So I was
Can you
like,
tell
"Oh
us
my
what
god."
Commedia is really quick?
So, Commedia in a nutshell is stock characters born out of the 16th century in Italy, and they use half mask and everybody plays it's a really particular way of playing each of those characters and a lot of the tropes and the hierarchy of everything is still utilized in today's comedy so most of the roots of contemporary western comedy come from
Mhm.
commedia and a lot of people don't know that but they did Il Vecchio Gelosi which is the old man and it was so good. They did an exceptional job, and it was one of the only, like, pieces of true commedia I have seen in a very long time.
Mhm.
Mwah, hats off, they did excellent. Um,
Nice.
And then I actually didn't get to see anything on Tuesday because I had a lot of like work to do for actual work. Wednesday, my last day, I actually started off by seeing Shakespeare for Breakfast, which was really cute. They did basically an adaptation of The Tempest, but it was like kind of set in like a kind of a university setting kind of thing. It was really cute. And why it's called Shakespeare for Breakfast is because they also give everybody in the audience gets free coffee and a croissant, which was really
that's
sweet.
cute.
After that, I saw Charles Dickens' The Hanged Man's Bride, which was a one-man show, and it was interesting. It wasn't my favorite thing, but it's basically just the one-man retelling this story of The Hanged Man's Bride. It was good. He did a great job, I will say. The actor was lovely. Then I saw one of my other favorite shows. It was called Bell Ringers, and it was actually in the Round, and it was they have a theater called Roundabout, and it's a really cool arena stage. And this show, I was kind of glad that you weren't with me for this one because I would have been ugly crying.
Oh
If you were
no!
sitting next to me, it was so gorgeous. It was these two guys, and it's basically almost post-apocalyptic kind of feeling where it's like there are plague type things that had been happening around the world and the country, and it's like storms are getting worse and worse and worse. And the idea is that they've heard that if you ring these particular church bells, it's supposed to dissipate the storm. It's supposed to let it pass. So these guys comes in, it's just two actors, and they're trying to like work themselves up to ring the bells when the storm actually gets to them. But the issue has been that one of two things is likely to happen. Either you go to ring the bells and the lightning strikes the bells and you die.
Oh.
Or
Okay.
you will ring the bells and dissipate the storm. And so it's like either we don't know what's going to happen with these guys. And my God, it was so beautiful. And oh my God. Yeah, everything about it was so good. The company is Addicist, and it was just phenomenal. And oh my God, my God, so
nice.
good.
I'm glad you
So
got to see that.
And then actually, and then after that, what did I see? Oh, I was meant to see this other show called Ghostlight because I was like, obviously, have to see Ghostlight. That one was also really interesting. It's from a company called Orange Works, and this was, but it was a little different than I expected. So what they do is they start the show with the entire show is done with just handheld lanterns. There is no stage light.
Okay.
Just handheld lanterns. So it's very dark the whole time. But what was really beautiful was they started the show talking about the ghost light. They talked about why it's important. And I actually started tearing up when they were talking about why the ghost light is what it is. Because, they mentioned it is a beacon of hope, and it is also there to ward off evil spirits, but it's also there to protect us. It's to protect those who need protection. And I was just like, oh my God, this is gonna be really hard.
That's us. Yeah.
But the show was not about a theater at all. Didn't take place in a theater at all. It was about this this guy starts renting a room from a woman, and one of the other tenants in this house tries to explain like, hey, there are these kids that are definitely ghosts that are hanging out here, like don't be afraid of them. They want to come in and play, invite them in. let's, just be chill with these kids. They're kid ghosts. We don't know what happened. But they assume, and that you come to find out that the woman who owns the building is Mrs. Sands, and her kids passed away. So they're like, I bet these are her kids that are just hanging around. But what's horrifying is you come to find why the children died and what happened.
I was gonna say, don't spoil it.
It's incredible.
Ooh,
I was straight up weeping. Oh my God.
Nice.
So beautifully done, beautifully acted. And just the story, I was not expecting that story at all.
Right.
So
that's like the one thing that we didn't.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the one thing that we didn't really see together. I feel like we did like comedy, cirque, like magician, musical, all that kind of stuff, but we didn't really see like just a general, like pure, like street theater thing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you got to see something.
And actually the last show I saw was completely by accident. I actually, with all the things we saw, with one bad show out of how many is that? 4, 5, 6, 7.
We saw 10.
11.
So 14?
14, 15. I saw 30
30
shows in 6 weeks.
I know, that's what I mean. You like made up for it real hard.
What? 30 shows.
I know. And out of all of them, there was only one bad one.
Well, only one bad one.
Yeah. That's not too bad.
I mean, I will say there was, I don't want to mention which ones of the Prague Shakespeare ones I didn't love, but some of them were not excellent, but most of them were really good. So, but that one that we saw together was categorically the only like bad show.
Next year we're definitely gonna go back.
And next time performing.
Oh yes, no, because I feel like we got a lot of people asked us if we were performing. So, and I feel like it'll help that we know what it looks like and what the festival looks like and kind of how everything runs, so that we can like make some good informed decisions. So,
and I've got like 1,000 different other ideas going through my head of like, oh, I should produce that. Oh, I should direct that. Oh, I want to act in that. So I'm just like, all right, as long as I'm there.
I was gonna say we could always do our thing, and then you could go and do your own whole thing if you wanted to. So
let's do it.
Yeah, start linking up with all these places and
ready.
all these companies.
I'm ready.
Yeah, nice.
I'm gonna do that for our sign off from now on. It was like, here's.
That's not fair because then that means I have to like.
You gotta. I have dog fur stuck to mine. It's fine.
Oh man. Oh well. All in all, 10 out of 10 trip.
Oh yes,
5 stars. So freaking good.
We highly recommend everyone go to Edinburgh Fringe Festival if you ever have the opportunity. I'm so grateful that I finally had the chance to do it, and that I finally got to do it with my best friend. That's the way to do
it. I'd recommend people go to Scotland in general. So Scotland in general was pretty awesome. So yeah. All right. Well,
thank you everybody for joining us for this special bonus episode of us nerding out extra.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well,
we'll see y'all next time.
You later.
Yay!
Until next time, don't forget to leave the ghost light on. Thank you for joining us. Leave the Ghost Light On was created, hosted, and edited by Danica Jackson and Jill Horn.
Musical composition created by Jay Nygaard.
Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, and more.